Hello everybody. I think I'm pregnant because I have the urge to eat a lot of ice cream and karaage today. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just old remnants of my Americanism kicking in. Alright. It's good ice cream. Alright, let's see. So, tomorrow I gotta take a book back to the library, and it kind of inspired me to share it with you before I have to, and I'm gonna still share a bunch of other books with you. And these are all kind of either in Japanese or related to studying Japanese, so you can stop complaining that I don't do enough Japanese stuff. And that I'm a big grouch about not doing Japanese stuff. Alright, so the first book is Darin wa Gaikokujin. My darling is a foreigner. And I like this book a lot. It's basically about a Japanese woman. She's married to a foreigner, the guy with the beard. And they're a cute couple, and she's kind of describing how the Gaikokujins are different from Japanese people, and some of the problems that come up, things that I identified with, like discrimination, and let's see, what I found funny tonight was the story about them watching Saturday Night Live together, and she was not getting the jokes. For instance, this is, they were watching Saturday Night Live, an old episode where they were eating quarry cereal. Do you remember that one? Where they were eating the cereal with rocks in it? And she's like, why would they do that? And then they have the sketch about the little girl that she thinks there's a bear in the room, and then she sees a man, and it turns out to be the electrician, and she scares him with her screaming, and then there's a family under bed. You remember that one? She laughed a little bit at that one. And, yeah, so overall I recommend this book. It's an interesting look about how Nihonjin don't realize what they don't know. Surprising that people don't realize what they don't know, isn't it? Good ice cream. Okay, so next up, A Guide to Remembering Japanese Characters. This is a huge book. I don't ever hear anybody talking about it, so I thought I would just a little. So each page, oh man, I always have problems with getting these things on camera because I suck. Anyways, each page has the translation, some combinations, but overall, I don't like this book very much. I used it to go to sleep. If I start reading this, I start to feel sleepy within 5 minutes. And some of the mnemonics that he comes up with to help you remember are just a little bit silly. And they don't seem to be related to the kanji a lot of the time. Alright, making out in Japanese. Everybody's heard of this book, right? Well, it kind of sucks. I mean, it's authentic and all, but I know almost everything in this book already, and I think I probably learned a lot of it like during my first 6 months here or so. So you don't really need it, I don't think. Or the sequel. Making Sense of Japanese. It's basically an essay, but it's really small, so I wouldn't pay a lot of money. I would get it used, but it's really pretty useful. I just wish it was longer. And let's see, this book on phonics, what's the name of it? Nihongo Phonopedia. Okay, so it has, let's get this on screen. Boy, this is hard to do. Alright, so this is bosa bosa. Use a bonsa on your bosa bosa hair. Hey, I always have bosa bosa hair. And basically it teaches you all the Japanese words that are said twice. My main gripe with this book is there's not a single Japanese character in the whole thing. It's all in Romanji, and if you study Japanese for any amount of time, you come to hate romanji. And you come to like kanji and you prefer it and you're like, why is that written in kana? I want it written in kanji so I can understand it. Alright, 13 Secrets to Speaking Fluent Japanese. I don't really recommend this book. It had some useful tricks, but overall, I don't have the time to use them, and you probably won't either. Like the whole memorizing words thing suggests that you know, take a word to memorize it, you memorize it, and its opposite, and then a metaphor, and then an exaggeration, something like that. And who has time to look up all that stuff? It would be nice if like he just did a lot of the words for you. And in that sense, this book is good because it has, I don't know, some 300 odd words. The section on hypothesis is pretty good. There's a manga for that section, and it goes over every kind of saying something hypothetically, which I thought was pretty good actually. And then there's Dr. what's his name? Jack Black? I can't remember. Dr. Blackjack. And a manga by the god of manga, what's his name? Osamu? Oh boy, I should know that. All the anime nerds are going to be up on me for that. Anyways, that section is good, but overall, don't really recommend. If you can find it used and cheap, maybe it's worth it. Let's see, but by the same guy, which I do recommend, is Breaking into Japanese Literature. Basically, it has the Japanese text on the left and the translation on the right, and down below it has definitions of all the words. It's brilliant. It's how I learned to read Japanese, really. It took me like from beginner to immediate. Okay, we have Even Monkeys Fall from Trees. It's an amusing book. I don't think you're going to learn much Japanese. I just don't, it's not very, unless you're trying to memorize each page. I don't know. But I don't think Japanese people remember these proverbs is one of the problems with it. Like, if you say one of these proverbs to a Japanese person, they might be like, what? And completely different usually from the 4-character proverbs which you might be familiar with. Well, I've been talking for almost 8 minutes now. Who is still watching this? Alright, okay, so in the same series as 13 Secrets to Speaking Japanese, Fluent Japanese, and Breaking into Japanese Literature, in the same series is Strange But True, a True Life Japanese Reader. I don't think this is in print anymore. I got it used and it was shipped from New Jersey through Amazon.jp. But I recommend this. It's a little short. Once again, I don't like short books. I like the long ones. But it's really useful because it has articles from some magazine, I forget the name, and the translation. And then after the translation, it will break it down word by word and sentence by sentence and tell you exactly what it means. Very useful. Also in the same like series or from the same publishing group is Read Real Japanese. This one is okay. I recommend it, but there are problems with it. I mean, it's got Japanese text and then line-by-line translation, but what I don't like is it doesn't have word-by-word translation. She'll just write down a line in romanji, and she won't translate individual words, which is really annoying because you got to go look them up yourself if you are a little confused by what means what. But she does have explanations of idioms on this side, which is pretty dang helpful. And just a couple books for fun. There's this one. This is from the character's point of view of the lady from the Trick series. Zenbu miru to omi nandake omitoshita? Mitoshida. I should know that. Anyways, it's you have to be fluent to be able to really read it, but I am reading it, and it's easier than the other book. I should have gotten that one out, but there's one by the professor character. He, in his book, he talks like a professor. She talks like a normal person. So his book is like super advanced and hers is merely advanced. And it's interesting. This is Jisatsu Sukoru, the book. And basically, it's not the plot to the movie, it's the plot to the sequel to the Jisatsu Circle movie. You've seen Jisatsu Circle, right? I mean, that's what every Japanophile should see. So yeah, this one, it's pretty good. And not too wordy, so it's pretty easy to get through. A sec. What was the other book? In terms of textbooks, this is what I'm using right now. Donotoki, Dosuka, Nihongo, Hyogen, Bunke. 500. And it lays out 500, usually connecting parts of speech and grammar, and tells you how they're used. Overall, I recommend it. I think it's a little sparse on explanations of what each grammar is, and it's completely in Japanese, so be aware of that if you try to buy it. I don't know if anybody will buy any of the books I'm talking about. Wow, this is my longest video ever, and I didn't do anything interesting. Spider-Man button.
地獄からの使者スパイダーマン